Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Project Podcast. My name is Ira Bowman, and I am excited because today I have returning the sales manager for Dash Technologies, Deanna. Welcome back, Deanna. How are you today?
Hello, Ira. How are you?
I'm good, my Purple Squirrel.
Yay!
Sorry. So, you remember how this goes. 10 minutes, 3 questions. Awesome. Well, let's get started. I have to be completely honest with you. Before our first interview, I had never actually heard of Dash Technologies. I was prepping for the show. I did my research. I looked them up. But my question for you is, can you tell us about Dash Technologies? Because I thought, actually looking into it, it's pretty interesting. And I think my audience might like to know more about it.
You got it. Dash Technologies is a full-service IT company. We are based in Columbus, Ohio. We have a software development division, an IT training division, and we have a recruitment division, which brought me to your show. What I do is I connect with companies who are hiring. So we actually, and then we go back to the Purple Squirrels, and we find positions for all those purple squirrels out there. We find positions and candidates for employers who are looking to find for those very specific group of qualifications, aka Purple Squirrel. So we are a full service IT company, and recruitment, we specifically, our bread and butter is IT candidates, but that is not all we do. We work with all candidates, from sales managers to marketing to accounting, all across the career fields. But IT candidates seem to like us because we already know the technologies and we know the acronyms and we know the business really well. We have a very smart group of people who are going through and can understand the job requirements and then can match them up really good to the candidates. So that's really our sweet spot is IT.
Yeah, well, it's funny. A lot of the people I deal with in my day job are IT related because I sell these large format printers, right? So I was fascinated when I was looking into it, and I didn't have time to ask you more about it in the last interview. So anyways, I wanted to interview or ask that in this interview. I think there's plenty of people that I deal with that follow me for printers who might be interested in using your services. Now, let me ask you a question. So for the IT side of it, does somebody have to have a contract with you, or can they use you guys like, okay, I've got a new computer and I need this set up and those kinds of things? Can a company call you and say, hey, can you help me?
Yeah, a company can call us and give us their problem, and we'll give them the solution. So basically, it's all a case-by-case basis. So we have done software, we've done web apps, we've done mobile apps. We bring people into our Columbus office for training on specific technologies. So it all depends on the problem, and we know every problem is unique. So we come up with a unique solution to each one.
All right, perfect. Well, I'm going to be sending some people your way because I actually have some people who go like, hey, do you know anybody who can help me out remotely? And I always like to, work within my network. So I've got some people for you. All right, question number 2, because Dash does recruiting as well, and recruiting, as you know, is very competitive. What is it that sets you guys apart in the recruiting? Why would a job seeker be smart to come to you guys as opposed to going to any of the other competitors that are out there?
Well, one of the things that sets us apart is we thoroughly screen our candidates. So when you send us your resume and you are interested in working with us, you have become part of our family, and our recruiting team then talks to you and finds out what you're looking for. And not every candidate is what they appear like on paper. So it's really important to get to know those people and get to know not only what they can do as far as skills goes, but also what kind of company they're looking for. And some candidates are more picky than other candidates. I talked to someone this morning who wants to eventually be a CTO. And he said, I'm looking for very specific things in my next company. And as he should, if any candidate is being picky about their company, then we need to be on the same page. So we need to know exactly what that candidate is looking for and what values are more important. Because if we send a candidate to a company and it's not a good fit, how does that make us look? Right. So we want to make sure that we give the best candidate and the best candidate for the job and the best candidate for the company.
So walk me through that just a little bit. So what does that look like? So you do it like a phone interview, or they come in person? Is there, like some testing that happens, or how do you kind of identify so that you don't get surprised later? You know what I mean? Because that placement, I get it. That's a big deal, and it reflects on you guys in the long run. As a prospective employer that's looking to hire you guys to fill positions for me, or you send candidates that are a good fit. How do you really get down to it and figure out what they're looking for, and if they'd be a match?
Most of the time it's by phone. Most of the time it could be one call, it could be multiple calls, just to make sure that the candidate is who they appear to be on paper, and that we are on the same page as far as what they're looking for in their next position. And that everyone is on the same page. When you talk to one person of our recruiting team, you're talking to all of them. So when they're looking for positions, they'll match you up to something that looks to be a good fit for both you and the company.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Now
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Those were my two. Now I have a question for you. So I'm turning the tables on Ira.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. So, what got you started with Project Help You Grow? Why did you decide to do this? I mean, for anybody who knows you and knows the podcast, you have a full-time job. So
right.
You start this in addition to selling printers.
Yeah, and I have 8 kids.
Well, yeah, there's that too. I can't understand. Like, I have 3 of my own. I can't even how you juggle it all.
Yeah, so it started it wasn't my original goal in life was to start Project Help You Grow or to run a website or any of these things. What happened was I used LinkedIn to research potential targets. I wasn't actually even making posts and trying to connect with people. I was just here to do some homework before I would call on a prospect. And I, through using LinkedIn, got connected with Mike O'Connor from SPN, and he asked me a question. He's like, Ira, you've been on LinkedIn for 10 years, and you have 1,500 contacts, and I've been on LinkedIn for a couple of years, and I have 30,000. So why is that? And I go, well, I do this obscure thing. And he goes, well, wouldn't it help you if you would put out posts and reach out beyond 1,500? How many people in the Bay Area, that's where I sell, would see your post from second and third level connections that then might connect back to you? And I go, why didn't I think of that? So I was kind of trying as hard as I could to grow, and I was very bar, and I was reaching out to people who didn't want to connect with me because I'm a sales rep. And I thought, well, surely there's other people on LinkedIn that are like me, that want to grow their network, that don't know how without getting in trouble. Because in LinkedIn, if you reach out to somebody and they say, I don't know you, that actually can get you in trouble. So I created this group called Project Help You Grow, where people could grow. And it's like, think of it like a growth incubator. And the project still exists. But what was happening is after people were joining, they're like, thank you, I need to grow. But what I need more than that is I need a job. Can you help me find a job? And so that started the whole idea behind Project Help You Grow. I had to figure out kind of how I could help people. And it's honestly through meeting people like you and lots of recruiters and authors and different things that kind of helped me, kind of get in position where it's not that I help people get jobs. My website certainly has millions of jobs on it, job listings, right? So that is one thing that I help, people find job listings, but more so this podcast and the blogs help people with strategy and connecting people.
Yes.
So really Project Help You Grow has just become like a bridge where I'm not the destination. I'm just helping people get from where they are to where they want to be. And honestly, it comes from a spirit of wanting to help people. That's always been my goal, is to help people. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well,
And helping is really a great reason for doing it. Helping out people that really need it. So
yeah, for sure. That's always going to be the goal. Whatever I'm doing is to help people. And Project Healthy Grow Up is wonderful. My job at California Survey and Draft and Supply affords me, by paying the bills, the opportunity to do this stuff after hours. And
nice.
I think it's just as big a blessing for me to be able to do it as it is for the people that I help. So thank you so much for asking me that question. Thanks for coming back on. We've already agreed to have you back on. You've committed, and I've agreed to bring you back. So you're going to be on again, and I'm looking forward to that because, as we talked about, we're going to kind of change it up. We're going to have a third person in, and we're going to do like a round robin conversation. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to having you back on.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the show. I hope you have a great night.
Thank you. You too.